So for your project, you're going to create a drawing using circles, lines, and rectangles or ellipses. And I've created a really simple one, and I wanted to show you how I planned it. I plan it on I use graph paper, and I would normally just sketch this out. I'm actually using Photoshop because, well, I can't draw circles. But I have it on my grid that I scanned in. So I've got my 0, 0, and I have additional lines I put in at 50, 100, 150, and 200 going both across the x-axis and down the y-axis. And then I've drawn my circles in here representing my snowman. And I figured out my center point, which at the bottom one is 150 and 180, and it's 120 pixels across and high. My middle circle is 150 and 100 for the center point, and it's 80 units across and high. And then my head is at 150 and 40 for the center point, and it's about 45 units across and high. And then I figured out the locations of my eyes, nose, and mouth. And I'm doing this as much from math as where it is here because I figured out where the starting point was and tried to make them parallel so it ends back on the same y-axis it starts on, and I was really using math to do that. So you should do some sort of sketch before you start. It will really help you out and make things go faster. And then we're going to go ahead and program it. And I've actually already sort of started this because this is the second time I did it since my recording fried. So I like to start by just putting in comments on the title, and you can put your name in here. Good idea to do that because I usually download all the programs at once. And then you'll start coding. So the first thing you want to do is declare your size. And so the size is going to be 450 by 450. And you should test frequently, and you should really comment to explain what's going on. So I'm going to start with the head, and I'm going to draw that with the ellipse. And its location is being taken right here because I figured that out in my sketch. 150 by 40 by 45 by 45. And I like to get a good feel for where that's going to be. And okay, that looks all right for the head, so we're going to keep going. And so we're going to do the middle area, and that's going to be an ellipse of 150, 100, 80, 80. And I will test that again. About what I expect to see. I'm happy with that. And then foundation, feet, whatever you want to call it. And that's going to be an ellipse of 150, 180, 120, 120. And I have an error. Okay, I'm missing my parentheses. Typos are common. Okay, looking pretty good. So because I'm going to add the face to the head, I'm going to go ahead and just put that right back in here. And you can break it down a little bit further. Eyes. So we've got the left eye, which is going to be 140, 35, 3, 3. I thought I switched those all the. Oh no, the eyes are supposed to be 5 and 5. Mouth I set to 3. And then we'll do the second eye. 160, 35, 5, 5. And let's take a look. And I have an error, but let's see what happens. Okay, my error here is that I put a colon instead of a semicolon. It says it expected a semi, found a colon. So you just fix that. I'm okay with that. Those look like decent placed eyes. And then I'm going to put in a nose. 150, 45. Oops, got to put in the ellipse. 150, 45, 5, 5. Let's take a look. There we go. And then in the final part, I'm going to put in the mouth and that's going to be ellipse 145, 50, 3, 3, 148, 52, 3, 3, 150, 54, 3, 3, 152, 52.5, 3, 3. I see that I have an error in my code. I'll get back to that in a minute. 55, 50, 3, 3. Okay, so I'm going to double check everything here because these should be parallel. Now, 155, 50, 50, 3, 3, 155, 145, those are fine. 152 and 148, they're the same amount from the outside. 42, this should be, oops, that should be a 52.5 because 42 would put it way out of bounds, 3, 3, and that's in the middle between those, and that should be good. A little closely packed, but it works. So that's my basic snowman. If I want to fix that, I'm going to show you how. I can now see that these are too close together. What I would want to change is the X value here. So I would want to take this one to 140. Do the same thing on the other side. We want to move it out farther. 60 and 50 is in the middle. We'll put this as 55 and 45. And you can see how I'm adjusting just the X values to spread the mouth out. There. Okay, now I'm happy with it. And you can see I've documented these fairly well so that I can go back if I wanted to make any changes, make the eyes larger, smaller. I could go back and edit it later. So that's pretty much how I did my plan and created my snowman. You can go ahead and create the snowman if you'd like. I will take a picture of the full code and put it into the classroom if you want to see the code. But this one, you actually have to create your own original drawing, so you do not need to recreate my snowman. That would just be practice for your own sake if you wanted to. But you can see the process that I use in creating a plan and translating from that plan into my code.